if you have proper positioning, both in the marketplace, in the patient's mindset, in the way you present treatment, proper positioning will give you ultimate power. The first thing you have to position is the practice in your life. Secondly, you have to understand that profitability all stems from one thing, and that's ultimately the price, how money moves, okay? The pricing structure can be how we phase, bundle, organize treatment plans. It can be literally your price per unit, crown, veneer, sleep, implant, quadrant, perio, doesn't make any difference, okay? Exam, all of it. Pricing leads to profit. If you play with anything else, your profitability will always be watered down, and you will always have to fight through a volume. And what we need in order to master and maximize every threat is we must be able to fight through the need for more and be able to do dramatically better with substantially less. And this is where you win. And finally, your pride comes from your purpose. Your pride of knowing who you are and what you're doing it for. You might say your why. Your why. Okay? So I want to dive into the two sort of broadest areas of threats that are most, prominent. They're obvious, right? They're obvious. So the first one is what we call the outside industry circumstances. So these are all the things that you know that you feel that you might lose sleep over, you might be concerned about, you might even feel like you have to change some things. Example, okay, the biggest ones that are very real time today in this very moment, we see, oh, people are tightening spending. People used up all their credit. People are losing their jobs. There's all these challenges. Now, whether you're in a big city or small town, whether you're in a blue state or red state, you got all these variables. And there's so many variables. And so you say, well, how do these variables impact this idea of, disposable income, expendable cash? No. So the first way to understand that outside industry threat is to embrace the fact that we don't focus on people's ability or inability to pay. Instead, we focus on the power of small numbers. So many doctors, they're focusing on what they don't have. They're focused on the patients they don't need. They're focused on the people who don't say yes. And it's the wrong focus. You see, if you look at the threat, it's like you drive car, you look at obstacle, you hit obstacle. You look at opening. I don't drive much anymore. When I do, I say, shoot the gaps. I go as fast as I possibly can with nothing in front of me. That's why I don't drive much anymore. So we shoot the gaps. So when it comes to outside industry circumstances, you notice the change in words. They are what they are, but they're not threats to us. We shoot the gaps. Now, some of this might be we focus on a certain type of patient. We focus on a certain style or comprehensive of dentistry. The bottom line is you do not want to be in the business of a lot from a little. We want to be in the business of we want not a little from a lot. I got it backwards. See, there you go. I'll make mistakes too. Just ask my wife. Okay, so we do not want a little from a lot. No. And I've covered that on our profitability whiteboard strategy session already. We want a lot from a little. The only way to do that is to properly position yourself, price accordingly, and ultimately understand your purpose and objectives. Circumstances go by the wayside when we aren't trying to serve the entire marketplace.